And welcome to Sports Betting Illuminated, where we play with the house and not against it. I'm your host, Ariel Calista Miller, author of Sports Betting Illuminated, an AI-powered path to profit. Good morning, Ken Leo. Welcome in. So nice seeing you here. Thank you for waking up and spending your Saturday morning with me. How are you doing this morning? It is so gray and rainy outside. It just doesn't seem like a nice day to go out and get a tan. Hey, Rumble chat coming through. Thanks for stopping in. Check Science. So lovely seeing you here this morning, and thanks for joining this live stream. So we have a lot of games to cover today. Of course, there's just been a lot going on, and as you know, it's March Madness. We're talking basketball. Good morning, Tyler. Good morning, Derek, and good morning, David. It's so wonderful seeing you all here. So we will be talking a little bit of March Madness today. You know, I've been watching these hockey lines all day. Hey, Spencer, good morning. Good morning, Peter. So wonderful seeing all of you here. You know, hockey lines are just so tight today. They really haven't been budging, but I am going to be updating some of my numbers throughout the stream, just seeing how everything is going and letting you guys know how things are changing in real time. I mean, you guys already know. You come to the stream a lot. I see you guys, and you know that a lot of these numbers are updating, changing pretty frequently in real time. I was just watching the Yankees total bounce from like 9.5 to 10 to 9.5 to 10, like all over the place this morning. It's been a bad end of season? What do you mean? Yeah, I like the Yankees today. I do too. So I am going to be betting on the Yankees, and I am liking the over too. So not to get too ahead of ourselves. Oh yeah, no, I mean these lines are really tight right now in the NHL, so I get that completely. I'm still having my coffee this morning, everyone. Waking up, having my coffee. Good morning. I haven't had my cannabis yet, so I'm still waking up. Good morning, Brian. So lovely seeing you this morning. Yeah, we'll see if some of these hockey lines develop a little bit, but everything has just been dead on the board, I'm telling you. I would like to see some things develop though. And I'm sure you guys are interested. Alright, you did catch me in a lie there. I haven't had any cannabis on the stream. I did have some earlier, but way earlier in the morning, and we're going to be talking about March Madness today. We're going to be diving into the NBA, and of course, I already threw out 2 plays in Major League Baseball if you want to write those down, but I'm going to be diving into some of those lines, really giving you my exact analysis on how I came up with all of these plays, why I'm taking them, why I like it, and you know, how I'm playing with the house. You'll see it right here in real time, how the sportsbook's reacting, how the markets are adjusting, and I'll break this all down for you. So any games that you would like to throw in the chat, you know, this is a live stream. I would be happy to break anything that you have any questions on down. let's analyze these games together. Find some winners today. Yesterday, well, even though the money line I like didn't hit, it's okay. That happens sometimes because overall we had a wonderful winning day. And, like, it's about creating real profits over a long time. That's what we're doing here. It's not just like, oh, I'm just gonna like, quickly, bet on all these things and like hope it works out. There's a grind. And you guys know that. I see it all the time. It takes consistent work and effort, but ultimately it pays off, and that's how you get these ROIs in the 30, 40, 50% range. Don't even seem possible, truthfully, but it happens. And 70+% win rate. So all right, time to sit back. Before we dive into even more wagers for today, time to sit back, relax, and get your minds right to win some wagers. This is good. This is a really good stream. I think you guys would like trying it. It's Tropical Oz. It's a cross between Tropicana Cherry and Peach Oz. And it has really nice like fruity notes like pineapple and citrus. So it's very nice. Very like chill but fruity. I don't know. I love the fruity tasting strains, like the fruity tasting cannabis strains. Those are like by far my favorite. Definitely getting my mind right to win some wagers with you guys this morning. All right, let's start diving into some of these basketball games. I know we want to talk about March Madness, of course, but this isn't the only story that is going on today. We are going to dive into March Madness, of course, but let's talk about the one line that I really see moving pretty hard early. It is a really nice strain. I like it. I would encourage everyone to try it for sure. So the one game that I really like early is UCF versus Villanova. This is a 4:00 p.m. Eastern game. And right now, the one line movement that I really see on the board, and truthfully, a lot of these, March Madness plays are tight right now, but looking at this UCF Villanova game, not a lot of college basketball on the board today. Villanova has actually moved from -1.5 to -3.5, and this is on a little bit of pro money. Like, I see some pro money showing up on this Villanova spread, and you know what I say, like, even though I'm sure, like, people probably won't be, like, there's not going to be, like, that much viewership and, watching the game and bets on this game in particular. I know that, especially because, like, a lot of there's a lot going on right now in the sports world, but ultimately the money is green, and I like how this line is moving. I like seeing the Sharps showing up. They're starting to put their money on Villanova, and I think this is going to be a very easy win. It's moving in the right direction, and the Sharps are showing up here, so you know what I say, I love when the sports books and the pros are moving in the same direction. So I like this. I like this. All right, let's talk about Florida versus Auburn. This is a 6 p.m. Eastern game. All right, I love this. I love when I have handicappers in the audience also liking Villanova as well. I feel even more confident about it now, taking this Villanova spread. So lock this one in, but of course make sure the line doesn't fall apart throughout the day. Anything could happen, but I like it so far so good. All right, Florida Gators versus Auburn Tigers. This is a really exciting game that I'm sure a lot of people are watching. Oh no. Oh, dang, Chris. I'm sorry to hear that. A couple of really large bets just hit on Duke. Ooh, that is interesting. Well, I have seen it already move to -5.5. So I think you're right. That makes sense why the Duke line is moving at this moment. All right, but before I get there, real quick, I did see Auburn getting some sharp money pretty early on, which is interesting. I'm kind of thinking that this total, might be too high. I know a lot of people are going to take the over, but I would probably lean away from the over in this Florida Auburn game. I would, yeah, I mean, considering how many unders have also hit in all of these games, like that's another thing to take into consideration, but the total is looking a little too high. My AI model has it projected at a lower number. This, these numbers are tight. Vegas isn't really moving these lines much, but they're also predicting that probably a lot of people will take the over, and I'm just not leaning that way in this game. I agree. It is crazy what's going on there in New Jersey. And just honestly, just how like sports betting is enforced throughout the country. Like there really isn't a lot of consistency, but with all these new markets opening up, it really is possible to bet on more things easier than ever, and like even bet against other people instead of having to bet with the sports book as a third party kind of facilitator. I mean, the sports books, that's what they're doing. They're always taking their percentage from both sides, and we know that they're taking money from the losers, of course, but they're also taking a percentage from I mean, that's what the juice, the big. All right, now I see some sharp money coming in on Auburn, which is pretty interesting. I think this is interesting that it's catching a little bit of sharp action, but what's also weird here is, Florida, this line just hasn't moved at all. It opened up at -2.5, -115, and all you could say right now is like the odds adjusted to -110. But in such a big game like this is one of the like most minor adjustments like ever. I don't know. I don't really see a play here at this moment. Yeah, but it is interesting that sharp money is showing up on Auburn. I would be leaning towards the under here. It seems pretty high. I'm leaning towards it. It's not an official play yet, but I would probably not take the over. All right, yeah, it is really risky, and truthfully, like Vegas has this zeroed in, but I mean, I agree with Chuck Science. He's a great sharp handicapper as well, everyone. But yeah, I am leaning towards the under. I would not go over here in this game. Do I think a money line bet on Auburn would be good? I would say, yeah, I mean, this one is just not moving, and there's really nothing for me saying that the books are taking a particular stand here. There are sharps on Auburn, but Vegas isn't budging. They're just not. They're really just holding things as it is. Yeah, no movement here. No movement. All right, let's talk about Houston versus Duke. Now, I see you guys in the comments saying that some sharps are coming in on Duke, and I think more sharps are going to keep piling in on Duke throughout the day. It did open up at -4.5, -110, and then it did move out a little bit to -5.5, -105 on mixed money. Now I'm hearing like from you guys in the audience that some sharps are coming in on Duke. Vegas already adjusted this, which is kind of interesting. Like Vegas already adjusted this line a little bit more in favor of Duke, so I think this is interesting how this line is starting to move and the sharps are starting to place their bets on Duke. So I'm leaning heavily, but this is not a play for me yet at this moment. But, just looking at the action that's going on, what can you say? Except the sharps are starting to take the spread on Duke, and the line is starting, like, slowly creeping over to Duke. Like, is one influencing the other right now? It seems like they're both moving in the same direction at the same time. But for me, it just has not risen to a level of significance that has met my parameters for me to say that this is a play. And that's all. But that's where everything is going. So we'll see, if this pushes out a little bit more. I doubt it will, though. I think Vegas is going to really be holding these lines tight, and they know that all the Joes are coming in. What Vegas is doing right now is simply playing into the better psychology. That's the real game that Vegas is playing. Oh yeah, let's talk about it. This is great. Congrats. Yeah, shout out to Chris D for picking Duke and Houston. So let's see. This is really, really, really exciting. And of course, anything else you guys want to talk about in the college basketball sphere, just write it in the comments. I'm going to be moving into the 2-minute drill. This is the 2-minute drill that I was trying to show you guys on the last show. I was having a lot of like different AI processes run in the background. I'm setting up these like AI agents that are doing all different things, able to give you like product feedback and different, reactions to things. And it's very cool, all with like different personalities, but ultimately at the end of the day, my computer could only take so much, and, but we are building something great here, and I am excited to start sharing with you guys like AI, this AI model that I've been working on, and, yeah. All right, let's roll into the 2-minute drill. This is about the torpedo bat, so I can't wait for you guys to watch it. Let me know your thoughts in the comments as this is playing, and then we are going to be getting into some of our baseball bets for today, so stay with me. Baseball has long been a sport steeped in tradition, but a groundbreaking new innovation is shifting the balance. And this time it's not in the batter's box, but rather is in the lab. Aaron Lenhart, a physicist with a doctorate from MIT, is the mind behind the New York Yankees' new torpedo bat. This is a game-changing piece of equipment that is already making major waves in Major League Baseball. With a background that spans quantum physics and data analysis, Lenhart brought a scientific precision to bat design, focusing on how mass distribution and swing mechanics could be optimized for modern hitters. Traditional wood bats often have their weight distributed uniformly, or they can be end-loaded, placing more mass at the barrel tip. Lenhart's design flips this convention by concentrating mass closer to the true contact point, the area where each of the Major League Baseball players most frequently hit the ball. The result is lower moment of inertia, meaning that the bat resists rotation less, and it can be swung more quickly and with greater control and precision. But the torpedo bat is not just about speed, it's also about efficacy. By thickening and reinforcing the sweet spot on the bat, it delivers more energy directly into the ball contacts, reducing vibration and increasing exit velocity. This enhanced energy transfer is key to what makes these torpedo bats so powerful. Even slightly mishit balls can carry farther thanks to a higher coefficient of restitution, COR, at impact. In early games using the new design, the Yankees shattered records, hitting 9 home runs in a single game against the Brewers. While these results vary by player, analysts suggest that even a 2 to 5 mile/hour boost in exit velocity can translate 10 to 25 additional feet of carry, turning warning track outs into homers. Aaron Lenhart's bat is more than just a new shape. It represents the merging of science and sports, where data and physics meet tradition and power. In a league constantly searching for a competitive edge, the torpedo bat may very well be baseball's next revolution. I hope you guys enjoyed that. If you have any questions, please let me know. I see you guys talking about torpedo bats over here in the comments. And yeah, if you have anything else you would like to learn about it, any questions, feel free to write me anytime. I agree. Definitely need to get higher for the torpedo bat. Well, I think it's really incredible how they're starting to blend science with sports, and I don't know, I just keep hoping like more things go that direction. I think it makes things, you know, more interesting for the viewer as well, and, you know, a lot more fun and engaging, and, you know, I can't wait to see all of the teams embrace it, and yeah, we'll see really how things go from here. Thanks so much for all the fire emojis. I also just want to say, everyone, real quick, before we move on, if you would like to join me on Substack, it is arielcalista.com. I am putting so many new articles up there every day, diving into all of these things. So make sure to join me, just Substack at arielcalista, and sign up for my free daily emails by going to arielcalista.com and clicking on the Stay in Touch button. They're free. They go out every day. We dive into sports lines, news, pics of the day, pictures of me every day, and just so much more. And it is free. It's gone out over 700 consecutive days, not missing a single day. And it's just full of great, wonderful information. So hope you guys could all join me there, and please leave a thumbs up on this video if you haven't already. It is free, and it also helps me so much in this algorithm. Yeah, definitely. There is some real good stuff on Substack. Oh yeah, the strain. I have to tell you about it. It is a mixture between Tropicana Cherry and Peach Oz. So they call it Tropic Oz. It's very good. Very fruity, a little bit of like pineapple taste, a lot of fruity taste, a little bit of citrusy like blend in it. Hell yeah. High life. All right. Substack is, I mean, it could be an app like on your phone, or you could just go to your, you know, browser, type it into, you know, like whatever web page. So you don't necessarily need to download it, but it's quick and easy to sign up. All you have to do is put in your email, really. Probably more for an ounce in New Jersey, honestly. New Jersey has like the most insane cannabis pricing of anything that I've ever seen anywhere. It's actually insane. Like, I don't know how people could like do that. It's just not sustainable. Yeah, definitely a good strain, and it has like those fruity flavors I think people just love. Me in particular, like I love the fruity flavors. It's really good, really, really yummy. All right, now that we learned about the torpedo bats, let's dive into some of our baseball bets for today. I already mentioned one earlier at the beginning of this show, but I'm just gonna dive into my analysis on why I like this play. Yankees versus Pirates. This is a 4:00 p.m. Eastern game. So the Yankees run line opened up at -1.5, plus 110. Then it quickly went to -102, then -105 on level 5 money. So all of the money is on the New York Yankees run line. I like this a lot early. Grab this early. So I hope you grab it early as well, because I think it's just going to keep moving to like minus 110, minus 115, I would say. And lots of money on it. It's moving in the right direction. And truthfully, the Yankees, like, it's no secret that they've been crushing it lately. And looking at the over in this game, this over is looking pretty interesting as well. This one I hopped on early, but right now, like, the sports books really don't want people to take the over. They're offering like minus 120, minus 115 and stuff on the over, which is like, come on. You know, like, checking across all of these different sports books, like, it's almost like, why? You know? What happened to plus money, right? Exactly. That's exactly it. I think the Yankees are going to score, like, it's going to be so many runs, I just think. And I think wherever you could find plus money on the over, go for it. Right now, the sports books don't want you to take it. So obviously that means, like, they're trying to push everyone into betting the under, which we already know. That's not looking good if you're going to take the under on this Yankees game today. In this Yankees-Pirates game, I would not take the under here, but I do like the over. So look for some nice plus money. It opened up at over 9 minus 105, over 9.5. It moved out really quickly to minus 102. Then it went to over 9.5 minus 112 on level 5 pro money. So all of the pros are jumping on the over. I think this is really trying to, like, discourage people from betting the over at this point. But, you know, if you could grab this over for, I don't know, I mean, even a minus 105 right now, that would be fantastic. Seriously. So I don't know, like, if you're an action player, this might be a spot where you want to ladder this out. Just like a little bit of a ladder. I wouldn't go too crazy here, but this over is seeming really good. Over is seeming really good. All right, let's talk about Marlins versus Braves. This is a 7:15 p.m. Eastern game. And this Braves run line, is looking pretty good right now. It opened minus 1.5 at even money. Then it moved to minus 118 already on level 5 money. So huge move on the Braves. On the Braves run line is just super solid with all of the money. The line's moving in the right direction. I would grab this before it runs out to like minus 135 or something. I think it's on its way there. The Yankees just pushed to 10. Yeah, I saw, you know what? I would take the over 10. I'd take the over 10, for real. I saw it already 10 earlier, then it bounced back to it went to 10, then it went back to 9.5, and then it kind of went back to 10, so I would take the over 10 for sure. It's just pushing that way. Over is looking good here. It really is. Let's talk about the Marlins versus Braves over as well. So just like I had 2 plays in the Yankees game, this is like another second really good play in this Marlins Braves game, and that's the over as well. I'm liking the over here because it opened over 8 minus 120, so we knew that was going to move early to over 8.5. It did, over 8.5 minus 112, so I'm kind of thinking, you know, over 9. I don't know what that's sitting at right now. You might be able to find some plus money. Okay, so you're laddering it out a little bit, laddering out the run line and the total. That's interesting. So I like that actually for a little bit of an action play on the Yankees, to just ladder out this total a little bit, ladder out the run line. Like, don't go super crazy, but you know, you don't even have to put a full unit. Just kind of, I would ladder it out a little bit, get some plus money here. Yes, it's the Yankees run line and the over that we're talking about. Maybe having a little bit of a ladder. Maybe putting like, you know, 3/4 of a unit, half a unit on like this little ladder. But what? They beat that out here. I'm gonna have to see what you wrote in the other chat. I have a man named Dick Fitz on the mound today. Okay. What the heck? Why not? Look at the Yankee team total too. Yeah. Yeah, what is the Yankee team total right now? If anyone wants to throw that in the chat. And also like what's some of the plus money that you're getting on some of these ladders. Feel free to throw that in the chat. I'd like to know. So yeah, and then the Braves run line I'm also really liking, but it's sitting at -118 right now, level 5 money, so all of the pros are backing this. This might be a spot where you might want to pull out a small little ladder as well on the Braves run line, but the over in the Braves Marlins game is looking good too. It's sitting over 8.5. Lots of money on it, and it's sitting at -112, so it looks like they're really trying to discourage a lot of action on the over. I would say, yeah, I like the over in 8.5 here. Okay, so the Yankee team total is over 5.5. That's funny. That is funny, but I don't think the Jockey Club will let you. But maybe they will. Maybe they will. All right, let's look at the Guardians Angels game. This is a little bit of a later game at 9:30 p.m. Eastern. Total open over 8, even money. Went to over 8, -118. Dang, does it seem like a lot of these overs are sitting at -118 right now? Like, what a coincidence. So I would say you could take the over 8.5 here. You might be able to find over 8.5. Like, just shop around a little bit. Line shop, I mean. Line shop around a little bit here. See if you could take over 8.5 in this Guardians Angel game at like even money. Maybe a plus, you know, plus 105. I don't know. Maybe you could find that. Just look around a little bit. See what you could get. Oh yeah, I would ladder the Yankee total over 5.5. I mean, to me it does seem like very obvious right now. Like, take the over here. You know the Yankees are gonna crush it today. And man, these torpedo bats, right? Like, they really are incredible. I think they're changing the whole game of baseball right now, and it's cool. I think it's really cool. All right, the last baseball game that I want to talk about is the Dodgers versus Phillies. This is a 4:00 p.m. Eastern game. So a little bit of time, but not too much time. You know, these lines are developing pretty fast. This one, I was looking at the total here early because it opened over 8.5, went to over 9, but it quickly fell back to 8.5. So even though it went from over 8.5 -105 to over 9 even money, a lot of people were piling in on the over here. Now it's sitting over 8.5 -115 with level 5 money. I mean, it still looks like it's okay to, I don't know. I mean, I was thinking about the over, looking at the over, it could potentially develop, but I don't know. I don't really like it anymore. It just kind of bounced back to right where it opens. And it just is a cold, crappy day in Philadelphia right now. Like, rainy. I'm sure, you know, I mean, we know that rain affects every sport differently, but, you know, it's just kind of one of those cold, crappy weather days here in Philadelphia. So I'm just kind of staying away from the total here in this game altogether, in the Dodgers-Phillies game. Now, I wanted to do something a little different. This is usually where I do the cannabis segment, so I will take a cannabis hit here. Yeah, definitely. It is, yeah, they have to focus in, seriously. I think the Phillies are gonna lose today. Let me look into my magic baseball, see what it says. Honestly, I'm just kind of staying away from the spread on this game, but let's see if there's any new money happening. Yeah, I mean, everyone's piling in on the Dodgers right now. Yeah, I'm just not really seeing anything in this Dodgers-Phillies game that's really like calling my name right now. Like, it seems like a lot of people are piling in on, you know, the Dodgers spread a little bit, but it looks like a lot of mixed money. Vegas is holding this really tight. I mean, they're really holding this run line tight here. So, yeah, I'm... Yeah, no, it's great to be a fan. I love being a fan, seriously. Well, I mean, I don't really have like a home team personally. Like growing up in Vegas, we didn't really have like sports. I mean, obviously, like the Golden Knights are there now, and we will be getting a baseball team soon. But yeah, it's interesting to dive into though. And honestly, a lot of these games, like I said, you know, Vegas isn't really doing anything, but it's great to watch it as a fan and support your team. And, you know, that's fantastic as well. And like truly like a fun little source of enjoyment. And it also kind of helps you to gamble responsibly by, you know, like completely, you know, really like detaching like your like wanting to support your hometown team from like really like what are you when you're going down to bet on a sport. I mean, you're placing your hard-earned money on a game, and I mean ultimately I want everyone to profit off of it. And you know, a lot of people are like, well, you know, I'm not gonna bet against my favorite team. And then it's like, okay, maybe you won't bet against your favorite team, but you're suddenly, I mean, all of the slate of games that you have to bet on just shrinks, and you know, you're kind of limiting betting opportunities. So you gotta just, you know, shed that emotional bias and enjoy the game as a fan and have a good time as a fan, but also don't let that interfere with your betting activities, because betting activities, that's where you can make your money and truly become successful and, you know, be a true handicapper and win over time consistently and build a bankroll that's truly significant. So that's what I want for all of you here watching this stream. I did want to talk a little bit now about baseball, and have there been any other plays? Oh yeah, definitely. I was talking about how I like the Braves run line and the over in that game as well. And how I like the over in the Guardians Angels. It's okay. It's okay. But yeah, that Phillies Dodgers game is just staying away from the totals, staying away from the run line. I don't have any plays there. I feel that. I'm gonna take, you know what? I'm gonna take another hit of cannabis here because we gotta get our minds right. And this is usually the cannabis segment, but today I wanted to do something a little more health oriented. Well, obviously, cannabis to me is very health oriented. There are so many ways that cannabinoids interact with your endocannabinoid system to truly benefit your health. But I wanted to talk about, because there's so many different things out there in the field, like especially in the world of biohackers, like, and stuff like that, it's hard to see like what is real versus what is fake, and true science versus like what is just hype. And let's dive into some of these necklaces that people have been wearing in baseball forever. The necklaces that I really want to talk to you about are called these fightin' necklaces. And these were popular in the early 2000s, especially with baseball players. And they're asserting, this company is asserting that dissolving titanium into water, it creates a solution that when embedded into fabric, interacts beneficially with the body's bioelectric currents. Okay, great. So they're marketing it for like energy flow and performance. And, you know, they're saying like this is stabilizing bioelectric currents. So let's look at the real science behind this, because people have, wow, it's moving, it is moving, that braves online. But let's look at the real science behind these necklaces, because the U.S. Air Force, actually, the U.S. Air Force Academy actually did a double-blind study on this, on these fightin' necklaces. And I went to their website and they're charging people like hundreds of dollars for these things. I've had a lot of people write into me saying like, I know somebody who had this, or I had to have one, or my kid wanted one. And, you know, they make a lot of claims, but what does it actually do? Well, according to this double-blind study performed by the United States Air Force Academy, it showed that there was no real benefit with these necklaces. It was just likely a placebo effect that a lot of people were getting that made them feel good because they believed it felt, or that they should feel good wearing this necklace. But truthfully, in a double-blind study, there was no true effect. Nothing. Like, they could not find any real effects. And I'm gonna believe the study, truthfully, versus a company that wants to sell me like $100+ necklace. Honestly. Yeah. The line is pretty solid. Yes, definitely. But so now that we know that there's no real science here in this necklace, it's just a placebo, let's talk about a real alternative, which actually would make you healthier, and that is far infrared. Far infrared has had over 100,000 scientific studies conducted on the benefits of far infrared, you know, and it's not just here in the US. These studies are being conducted in Germany. There's other studies being done all over the globe on far infrared and the efficacy of it. Exactly. What you're buying with these fightin' necklaces, yeah, basically, you know, water dissolved titanium woven into fabric, which, you know, I mean, we all heard the Apple like hype of, you know, get titanium, it's from outer space because your phone is from outer space. Well, okay, I mean, I broke my leg and I have like a freaking giant titanium rod in it, but oh well, I guess my leg is now from outer space as well. But truthfully, you know, what is in outer space is, well, it's also surrounding us every day, and that's the electromagnetic spectrum. EMS. We've all heard about the electromagnetic spectrum, I'm sure, in probably 5th grade science class, where you're learning about visible light and you're learning about, you know, there's gamma rays at one end and you have microwaves and X-rays, and you're learning about all of this on the electromagnetic spectrum, right? So right beyond visible light is infrared. So you don't see infrared. You just don't. It's right beyond the visible light spectrum. So a lot of people who are buying these like modern saunas with all of these like red lights and stuff, like that's, the red light isn't producing the infrared. Like, you don't see infrared. It is invisible, but it is a very real wavelength that interacts with our bodies and actually is very beneficial to us. So what does far infrared do? Like, truthfully, like, there's near infrared, there's mid infrared, and then there's far infrared. And we found that like far infrared, well, near infrared kind of reacts with like the proteins in your cells, whereas far infrared specifically interacts within the water of your cells. So far infrared is proven that it does improve microcirculation. It does detox you versus like via your lymphatic flow. And it also reduces inflammation and tension and enhances cellular recovery. That is funny. That is why handicap's so good. I'm from outer space, obviously. But truthfully, far infrared is used in sports and rehab facilities. A lot of these baseball teams do have true far infrared saunas, like the relax sauna, in their locker rooms. And these do emit, scientifically lab tested, between 8 and 14 micron frequency. And these chips, they are very good chips. They're manufactured in Taiwan with, the best chip manufacturers out there in the entire world. So it does produce true far infrared and soul ray jewelry as well. You see me wearing this all the time, talking about my far infrared jewelry. A lot of you have also purchased some far infrared jewelry for yourselves, for other people. Right now I'm wearing the Ari Betts necklace, but I have some bracelets on, and I wear this jewelry all of the time. And I know it seems like it's just jewelry, like it doesn't look any different than regular jewelry. Oh yes, I'm so glad you're wearing a far infrared bracelet right now. That makes me so happy. Yeah, it looks like regular jewelry, truthfully. I'm not gonna lie. It doesn't look like, how do I know it's far infrared? But truthfully, it goes through a real treatment. You use polarization lenses and you follow the sun with like specific mirrors, and all of the glass inside of this jewelry, glass and crystal, technically even diamonds too, could store, like as long as it's clear, could store the far infrared energy within it. And this is just using superposition biophysics, and it takes the body heat that you're emitting. Everyone is emitting thermal energy. You touch your skin, you're hot. That's the thermal energy coming off of your body. It takes the thermal energy coming off of your body, all of these bracelets and the necklaces and earrings and all of the far infrared stuff that I make. It takes your body heat and actually in the bead converts it into far infrared energy and pushes it back into your body. So a lot of people, if you have the Herbie and you're placing it, maybe inside of like a knee wrap that you have, like if you're having trouble with your knee, you're wearing a knee wrap, and you take like the Herbie, for example, place it inside of your knee wrap. Oftentimes, like, people find that, really the pain has kind of lessened. There's a little bit less inflammation, or if their hands are sore from typing, these truly do help. Even with like neck and head pain, having far infrared, earrings and necklaces, it really does help. And this is real science. That's actually lab tested. There are real results for it, and literally over 100,000 studies showing the efficacy of it. So, I really do want to help illuminate some of the real science for you guys versus just marketing hype. And it's important that we don't just get fooled by companies out there that are just selling us hype. They're selling us things that don't actually work because they've been around forever and people have heard about them and it's a cool thing to do at the time. So that's what I'm trying to teach everyone about. If you have any questions, of course, feel free to write me anytime at arielcalista.com. My contact form is always open, or you could reply to any of my free daily emails just by hitting the reply button, and I'll write you back as soon as possible. That is an incredible story. Bowling again in 4 to 5 weeks later, just with your far infrared bracelets. That is serious. 6 displaced fractures. Far infrared really does help, and it's so kind of passive and subtle at the same time. Like, it's even hard for me to know sometimes, like, this is really still working, right? But when I've done things in the past, like I put a far infrared necklace on Biscuit and seen her immediate reaction. You know, she doesn't know what I'm putting on her is far infrared. I wish I could tell her in like dog language, but I can't. And she can't tell me in human language, like, hey, you know, thanks for giving me this. I'm going to pretend I feel really well. But she did feel really well. She actually started getting up, running all over the house, and it was like a lot of her arthritis was gone within 24 hours. And at that moment, I was like, this animal, like, is showing me the truth. Like, she is showing me, like, that this is helping her in real time, and I just hope everyone, you know, can have access to this technology because it's wonderful for people. And, you know, don't throw your money away by getting something that doesn't actually work, that has been proven to not actually work. So I would love that, Ken Leo. I would love for you to get some more bracelets for your friends, and, you know, I mean, hopefully they just help everyone. I don't know. I think a lot of people out there, you know, once you're feeling good and you're not in pain, you know, you start wanting to be a better person to everyone around you, improving your community and wanting to do things for others because now you feel good. And that's really where it all starts. You know, it starts with feeling good so you can be a better person to your family and to your society and, you know, really give back to the world. All right, well, now that we talked about that, of course, I would love for any of you, if you want any custom pieces, just go to soul-ray.com or, you know, hit me up on arielcalista.com, and I'd love to work with you. Yeah, it it's hard to feel it working in a traditional sense because it really just takes your own body's thermal energy, but it works over time. It really does. I mean, I've seen people whose hair has grown back and like picture of their hair, like where they were balding, like, you know, and then using a far infrared sauna, like on repeated sessions, and how their hair grew back. I mean, it doesn't seem real if I didn't actually know these people and like experience this like in real time with them, like not going out and like secretly they didn't go out and secretly get like a hair transplant. Well, I don't drive a Mercedes, but I do feel like I would fit that vibe. For sure. And that is true. Like, sit with the infrared in the sun, it does heat up, but I mean, just put infrared on your animals and you'll see an immediate difference. I mean, the animals can show you better than anyone, you know? I mean, they can't just say like, hey, I'm feeling really good. They'll show you that they're feeling good and you'll know it like within 24 hours. Like, this is a huge change. So if it's doing that to the animals, it's doing that to you. It's making them feel good. It's making you feel good. All right, let's go over some NBA games. So first one I want to talk about is the Bucks versus Heat. This is an 8:10 p.m. Eastern game. And right now, this is interesting how this Miami money line is looking. Went from even money to minus 125 on mixed money. And then the spread went from plus 1.5 to minus 2 on mixed money. So there's no reason that Vegas needs to be moving the lines like this. They're moving this way more than warranted because the money is completely mixed right now. But it's interesting. It is interesting. You think I should be driving a BMW? I think I should be driving an RE Ferrari. Right? really like this. I really like this Miami spread. It's looking really good. Then I want to talk about the Timberwolves versus 76ers game. This is a 7 o'clock p.m. Eastern game, so a little bit earlier than the Bucks Heat game. This Timberwolves spread opened up at -14.5 and went to -16 with a lot of Minnesota money. So it is coming in, but -16. Okay, we do know for one thing that the 76ers have, I'm gonna try. Like, we already know. Like, they're not really gonna, nobody has any faith in them. But looking at this, that's funny. Looking at this, I just, I don't know, -16, that's a lot of points to cover. And I just don't think, like, I don't know. Hey there, Lucas James, wishing you a happy springtime as well. I hope you're liking my little spring thing behind me. Got my peeps and my spring flowers, of course. I planted so many rose bushes. Oh my gosh, it's gonna be so amazing, and so many cannabis plants as well. So I love spring. Yeah, I don't know. I just can't take this, honestly. I really just can't take this Minnesota spread. It's sitting at -16. That's just, yeah, -16.5. Yeah, no, I can't take it. It's just too much. Like, it's a lot. Exactly. And it's like, do I think they're really gonna go all out like that tonight? And I don't know. That's asking a lot. But there is one thing that I haven't really seen a ton of movement on, which I think might develop, and this is the Clippers spread against the Mavericks. I haven't seen a ton of money here, but I do think this could potentially develop. Exactly. I think you're right. I don't think any team is really that motivated. I mean, we obviously know the Sixers are not motivated. We know that. That's no secret, but to get an extra 16 points, I don't think they're that motivated. I don't know. I think Vegas is just kind of reacting to the money here, honestly. But let me just see if this has developed any. The Clippers spread, I thought this could develop pretty early on. Okay, so it's sitting at -8.5 right now. Interesting. It's really just not moving. It literally has not moved at all, like, since the open, the Clippers, but I think it's gonna develop. There's oh, bye Chris, thanks so much for showing up today. You know, there's a lot of money coming in on the Clippers right now. That's what I see. A lot of money. I'm expecting Vegas to start pushing this out. They just haven't yet, which is a little weird. So I would say keep your eye on this Clippers spread. Just keep your eye on it. I think it's going to start moving. I think by the time I send my morning report out, it's going to move. So I don't know. I'm kind of leaning towards this. Oh no, you didn't, Victor. I'm just gonna run down all of my plays real quick because we're just closing up. We've been talking about a lot today, and I'm just about to run down all my plays. So make sure to lock them in, because this has been such a great little stream this morning. I feel like we've been having so much fun. All right, so starting off in college basketball. One game that I really do like, you know, we talked about these big, like, Florida Auburn game and the big Houston Duke game, and how, like, some sharps are coming in on Duke. This is starting to move on the spread in the right direction for Duke, but ultimately right now I'm just still, like, a little hesitant to make a play, but I do like I know it's not a huge slate today in college basketball, but I do like Villanova. Went from -1.5 to -3, so I like that spread. I think it's very solid. Then in baseball, I like the Yankees run line, of course, and the over. Then in a Marlins Braves game, liking the Braves run line and liking the over there as well. Both of these spots were spots where I said, you know, like find the plus money on these overs. You know, you could probably ladder this out even a little bit if you want. So, you know, just bring a little step stool. Maybe not a full ladder, but, you know, I do like it, especially for the Yankee game. Especially for the Yankee game. All right, then... That's true. Don't forget about Derek's pitcher prop. Can lock that in. Dick fits. All right, let's talk about the Guardians, Angels. You know, I like the over here. I think you could take over 8.5 very easily. Find some plus money here. Then I'm just staying away from this Phillies-Dodgers game. It looked like it was developing like for an over, but it's just really crappy weather today. And like, honestly, so unpredictable. I've already seen the weather people get this wrong like all week. It's insane. Then for the NBA, I was looking at the Miami money line. This is looking really good, staying at -125. I don't usually like taking a -125, but look at the spread. It's also moving in the right direction for Miami right now. And Vegas is moving this a lot on mixed money, which, you know, says to me right away, like, you know, there's no real money pushing this, but Vegas is making a pretty big adjustment. And I always will say, play with the house, not against it. So I you know, I'll follow Vegas here, and I like this heat spread. I know, I feel like if half the chat didn't get censored by the end of the stream, like, would this even be a Sports Betting Illuminated stream? With cannabis, not to mention. I mean, we're such rule breakers here. Okay, and then yeah, I'm just staying away. Like, even though there's a lot of money on the Timberwolves spread right now, everyone's betting against the Sixers, of course, as you should. I just cannot take the -16, so I'm staying away from that. But keep your eye on the Clippers spread against the Mavericks. I think this is going to develop, and I think this has some potential, but I haven't seen anything yet. So let's see what happens here. And those are all of my plays for today. Oh my gosh, everyone. I hope you locked them all in. We have been streaming for like an hour already. And I'm so glad you like the bracelets. Thanks so much for joining me here today, everyone. I truly appreciate all of your support. I couldn't do it without you. And I would love for you guys to tell your friends, tell your family about the bracelets, the infrared jewelry, infrared, if you have any questions about it. You know, I do have 2 books. My first book that I ever wrote was called Infrared Illuminated, User's Guide to the Science of Far Infrared Energy. I would love for all of you to check it out. But if you have any questions, feel free to ask me directly. You know how to contact me, even though my Instagram has been banned. I'm sure my TikToks are getting banned. I mean, I don't know. All of social media hates me. That's okay. I understand. I'm a gambling person. I'm a cannabis person. That's something that doesn't really agree with most social media platforms. But you can reach out to me through arielcalista.com. That's a very easy way to get a hold of me and reply back to any of my emails just by signing up for the daily report. It's so easy. And I'm on Substack as well at Ariel Calista, same spelling as down below here. And I am putting so much new information on Substack that you don't just see on the daily report. So this is way more in depth, thorough, and it also just has like a new little twist on everything. So if you're enjoying the daily report and you want to dive in even deeper, The Substack is the place to go get all of that. And it's just Substack at Ariel Calista. You'll sign up for the daily report. I'd love if you became, a subscriber and help support my work. That would be awesome. And I just love seeing you guys there because we're building a wonderful community. And I see you guys winning out there in the world. And we're really building a true handicapping professional community. And it's fantastic. So, you know how to get a hold of me. Reach out to me anytime. Good luck on your wagers today, everyone. I'm wishing you the best of luck. And I will see you all Wednesday at 6 p.m. Eastern for the next Sports Betting Illuminated live stream. And don't forget, please subscribe to my channel if you haven't already and leave a thumb on the way out. It is free and it helps me so much. I'm a small content creator and I would love to grow bigger so we could all get these bonuses like emotes and all these other cool things that these platforms unlock. All right, thank you so much, everyone. I will see you all Wednesday evening. Bye.